Think back to the last time you heard a truly raw, challenging piece of music on Spotify that you didn't seek out yourself. A song that actually stopped you, made you feel something dangerous or profound. Hard to remember, right? That feeling that everything sounds a little more generic, a little safer, a little like background noise. That isn't a problem with music culture. It's a billion-dollar business model designed to make your taste predictable and your favorite artists poor.
We're building a model that no other platform is there to discount.
So who made the most money on the music industry? Is it Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, Madonna? No, it's Daniel Ek, Spotify CEO, the guy who did not write a single song, but he built a machine that turned music into the one thing that we once feared, muzak. This is the story of how Spotify outplayed the system, reinvented cultural manipulation, and quietly convinced us that background noise is our new music taste. In the 50s, radio DJs were tastemakers. They held the keys to a musical career. So labels started bribing them, a crime then called payola. The public was furious because they felt betrayed. They thought their favorite DJs were spinning art, but in reality they were spinning paychecks. And payola proved music was powerful enough to be a scandal. Music was sacred. Selling influence was a crime. And this sets the stage for the modern scandal, because the betrayal today is just smoother. Spotify doesn't need to bribe the DJ, it is the DJ. And it's built on stats, not soul. It's an algorithm designed to find what is safe and repeatable. This control leads directly to the core scam, Muzak 2.0. Spotify's most valuable playlists are about function. Deep focus, peaceful piano, music not to be listened to, but to feel the silence. As an artist, I see the difference between art and content as huge. Art is made for its own sake. Content is made with a brief, with a goal and customer in mind. And here the goal is to write a song that no one will remember, the song that no one will notice, so no one will turn it off. Spotify turned it into a strategy, and it even has a name: Perfect Fit Content. And why? Because this passive listening model is exactly how Spotify makes real money. In that playlist, tracks are often ghostwritten under fake names, or these are simply AI compositions. They're easy to make, cost no royalties, and rack up billions of streams. Spotify has deals with music production companies. It's like a stock market for songs. These companies then hire session musicians and ask them to mass produce music that matches the playlist. And these artists get paid upfront and have no rights to royalties. They often don't even realize that their work will be pushed by Spotify, resulting in millions of streams. And every artist, musician knows how hard it is to get to the editorial playlist, how hard it is to even get streams under the real name and make a living out of it. Well, in the meantime, a track produced in 20 minutes, track that questions the cultural heritage of music, undermines works of real artists in genres such as jazz, classic, ambient, or electronic music. Stock music accounts for billions of streams, taking away millions of dollars from real artists. This is invisible payola. Spotify, who basically owns the music streaming market, is pushing its own ghost content to its own playlists and makes us believe we are listening to and supporting real artists. Not a scandal, just a never-ending stream of wallpaper sound and money for stakeholders.
There's no justice for us, only for billionaires.
Everything is backed by an aggressively reached financial model. Spotify at this moment is worth over $146 billion, yet it still works to cut wings of emerging artists. First, they introduced the 1,000 stream annual threshold for payouts. So if your song has 999 streams, no money.
Think that your work is not good enough.
This policy is originally designed to fight fraud, but directly affects growing artists. In 2024, this means that around $50 million wasn't sent out to these small artists. Spotify claims that the money is not gone, it just goes to the larger pool of royalties, which is redistributed to the rest of artists. But the reality is that this pool disproportionately benefits the biggest players signed by labels who have direct deals or even own Spotify. And where else does it go? Yes, exactly to these ghostwritten, low quality playlists. So it's a system where the struggling indie songwriter and all his efforts may actually contribute to a launch of Taylor Swift. So they argue that for small artists, the cost of withdrawal of these royalties is higher than the payment value itself. But then it got me thinking, are they not ashamed that they created a monster where receiving a 50-cent payment is the norm? Where we are now shaming the unsuccessful artist and cheering for corporations' smart business decision that just cuts expenses. It's just the proof that they are not sponsoring innovation. They have no honest interest in music and in art, because that 50 million could be easily moved to a pool that supports these artists. Imagine Spotify opening a program addressed to local artists, to new talent, which helps them boost their careers. But no, instead the money goes to established players with contracts with labels that back you up, and the profitable ghostwritten playlists that just cement the comfort of the user and easy money for Spotify. Let's take a step back and understand the pro rata model. This is how Spotify calculates the value of royalties. So it means that your subscription money goes into this huge pool, which then is divided by all streams, including the passive music, including all the created streams, no AI music. If you as an artist accounted for 1% of the number of streams in a particular period, you receive 1% of royalties. The system benefits superstar artists who dominate the total stream counts, and also the background functional playlist. The small artists, they get nothing. How much money? No one knows, because that's where Spotify also protects itself. In their financial statement, they say that everything depends on how much money they will make themselves. But here's the single biggest piece of evidence exposing their internal narrative. While Spotify just brags about paying out more and more royalties each year, we need to look at their commitment to artists as a percentage of their revenue. As you can see, the proportion of revenue allocated to royalties has declined from 62.8% to under 59% in just 1 year. So they are making more, and they are keeping the largest sum of the income. So they are literally paying a shrinking percentage of a growing pie to the rights holders. And there's a cherry on the top. Of course, Spotify is not registered in Sweden. It's registered in Luxembourg. It's a classic tax haven. So they also minimize taxes. They bundle streaming of music with audiobooks, which turns out to be legal, and design the system to protect the shareholders first, within the risks completely of Spotify.
Next decade, we will be a company who generates over $100 billion in revenue annually, and that we can achieve a 40% gross margin and a 20% operating margin. And I know this might be very challenging to put in a financial model because, frankly, this type of company never existed before. But that is exactly my point.
So why there's no outrage? Because the betrayal feels invisible. Playlists are personal, and autoplay feels convenient. So we don't even notice that our taste is being managed for Spotify. And Spotify isn't just a gatekeeper anymore. I would call it money keeper. What's the role of gatekeeper? To lead people towards better music, to connect artists, listeners, or to kill innovation, boost demand for background noise, and squeeze out every last cent of streams to watch the new generations of artists struggle? And at the center of it all is Daniel Ek, the same guy who told musicians, just release more music if you want to survive. That's not advice, that's cruelty. That's the same guy who is worth billions and invests his money in war tech. AI drums. And this is the same money he makes of songs like Imagine by John Lennon. Ridiculous. Just a quick update here. While I was finishing the edits on the video, Daniel Ek stepped down from the role of a CEO. It's gonna take place in 2026. So I just wanted to put a quick comment that I don't think it changes anything for the company and for the future of music because the people who got promoted are basically within the company and they cooperate with him for the past few years. Daniel Ek is also not leaving further, and in my opinion, this move is simply a PR move because there is a lot of bad press, simply just to keep us thinking that there is something going on at the company that actually is bringing the company back on the current of changes. But if you read more about these people, you will know that one of the CEOs, sorry, but I cannot pronounce these names, is actually deeply interested and deeply involved in the development of AI in music. So you can think that the priorities are not changing. If we don't ask questions, we may not even notice when music stops being listened to and becomes just another tool of productivity. The streaming economy is not a rising tide. It's an increasingly stratified system that concentrates wealth at the top. So if you care about music, if you care about art, if you want to support genuine creative expression, support your favorite artists directly. See them live, buy their albums, buy their merch, and be intentional about where your money goes. Choose art over content.